Have you ever been super motivated and set a goal like a New Year's resolution or your diet that starts Monday, and then when January 1st or Monday rolls around, you hit an absolute wall? That's because motivation is a lie. And if you're going to rely on motivation, you're never going to get anywhere. So today I'm going to break down what actually leads to success. Let's get into it. Thanks for joining me today again on Get Uncomfortable. I'm your host, Bretton Kroll, and today we're going to break down the myth of motivation. People often believe that motivation equals success, and honestly, that's a total lie. It's strategic actions that dictate success, and motivation just really doesn't do it for us. Motivation feels good, and we get inspired watching, we get all these hype videos that we see, all the David Goggins stuff that really hits home and can be very, very motivating. Even a good movie, right? Can be super motivating, good music. But the reality is those hype videos and the music and stuff, that motivation does not last. So you really need to build in systems that you can stick to even when you're not motivated, because that's where real success is defined. Social media and really so many people kind of glorify the hustle culture, making successful people seem constantly motivated. That was a big thing that I kind of realized, that if I had a day where I just didn't feel like doing the thing, didn't feel like making the calls, or just couldn't get my ass off the couch to do the workout, I just felt like there was something wrong with me. The reality is nobody is motivated all the time, right? It's the actions we take when we're not motivated that are really going to impact our success and our trajectory and how we can kind of grow and change every day. People think motivation gets things done, and that's just false. It's the activities, it's the small things that you commit to that you will do even when you're not motivated. It's the getting up early even when you don't want to. It's the going and lifting weights when you're tired or when you're getting over a cold or whatever. It's going for a walk when it's a little cold outside, that just other people are not willing to do. Motivation is temporary. So the motivation thing, Zig Ziglar really changed my mind on motivation and kind of impacted me that way. I think a really cool quote that he shared that I've heard from multiple sources, but Zig Ziglar was the guy that said, people often say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing, and that's why we recommend it daily. Now, super silly, kind of very simple, but extremely true, right? Motivation does not last. It's something that in order to stay motivated, we need that work. We need that positivity in our life, and it's a day-to-day thing. Motivation comes and goes, and it's totally based on emotions. So if we're not actively putting those positive emotions in, it's just we're leaning into the fluctuations of our own mind that we've talked about. You're just going to have such a hard time. And if you wait till you feel like it, you'll never do it consistently, because realistically, who feels like it all the time, right? Like, as much as we can all say there's benefits to, we'll use working out, because this is really a really easy one to hook up with working out or a fitness journey. So realistically, there's a tremendous amount of benefits to lifting weights, for instance. And I know I've been in situations where I just have not felt like doing something. I'm not motivated. But if I didn't already commit to it and stick to my commitment, I would not have done the workout. Now, there's benefits, and you can do the workout and then instantly you feel better, right? You get that rush of endorphins, and your body just feels better. You feel more awake and you're more positive. And I know it's a kind of a joke in our house that if I haven't worked out in a few days, or if I'm on a little bit of a slow stretch or whatever it is, or if I'm just stressed with work, my wife, in the nicest possible way, will kind of say, maybe you should go downstairs, right? We have a home gym downstairs, and maybe you should go downstairs, and I always feel better. So it's important to realize that it's not, even though we can find the benefit in doing something, you still might not want to do it. So realistically, you definitely cannot just work out when you're motivated, because that's how many people are super motivated after a long day at work, or super motivated to wake up at 5 a.m. and lift weights, right? It's not really how it works. Things just naturally get too hard, you get too tired, life happens, and if you don't have that commitment that you're willing to stick to, or you're going to stick to, motivation is not enough to carry you through. So now that we blasted motivation and talked about how it's a farce, let's talk about what actually leads to success, right? So discipline over motivation 10 times out of 10. Discipline is doing what you know you need to do or what you've committed to do, even when you don't want to. And again, we talked about the impact of your brain, the AMCC, the science behind all that a couple episodes ago. But realistically, it gets easier over time. And don't get into negotiation with yourself based on your motivation, because if you start negotiating with yourself and you're not motivated and you're leaning into that for the result, that's going to be a really hard go. So set those non-negotiable habits, whatever it is to build that routine and to build that momentum. Maybe it's like I work out every Monday, because maybe that's the thing for you that can trigger that week to be really positive. For me, it was like, I'm going to do 10,000 steps a day. That's a really easy one because it's just, there's a real low barrier, very easy to do. Even if it's, I've had it before I had an exercise bike in our house. If I'm going to get my 10,000 steps at the office, I'll go up and down the stairs extra times. I'll just walk around more. Even in my house, I'll just stand and walk in place while we're watching a show at the end of the night or something like that. There's really no reason you can't do that. So just set that non-negotiable and hit that, and the momentum from that will be really, really strong. In 2020, when everything was kind of shut down for a while, I got rid of my gym membership like so many did. And I found I had such a hard time getting back into my fitness journey. So realistically, the thing that changed it was my commitment was very small, and Mind Pump podcast, shout out to the boys there, kind of set me up. I don't know if it was their idea. I think their idea was, they're talking about coaching people, and it's like, just do, and if you have 100 pounds to lose, don't start by running a marathon. Start by, when you're watching your favorite show, snack on carrot sticks instead of chips, and maybe at every commercial break you stand up 10 times, whatever it is, right? And just that commitment, and then you build on that commitment as you go. So my commitment to myself was 5 days a week, I was going to put on my gym clothes, my gym shoes and everything, right? Didn't really have a great home gym setup, but what I found was I would put on my shoes and I would go to the garage or go down in the basement and I would do something. And to be totally honest, I was very kind with myself if I went down in the basement and I sat there and scrolled on my phone, but I had my gym shoes on, because I still did my commitment. I still followed through with what I committed to. Now, that didn't happen often, but say for instance in a 2-week span, maybe I had 1 or even 2 days where I didn't actually work out. That commitment, by putting on my gym shoes, I ended up with 8 good workouts, 8 out of 10 good workouts instead of just none, right? After that commitment turned to, I'm going to do, lift something, or I'm going to do 15 squats. And then once you get the juices, proverbial juices flowing a bit, once you get your blood pumping a bit, doing another set or doing a whole nother workout with that, or, once you get to 10,000 steps to do 11,000 steps, that extra 1,000 doesn't feel so bad, right? So starting that momentum. And then, so again, with that, systems and habits over hype would be the second thing. Your environment matters more than your emotions. So you need to set yourself up for that success, whether it's the home gym. One story for me would be the system, which was a really small tweak for me, but has had a huge impact on my life. The system of my breakfast, right? Breakfast for me was for a long time was just kind of like whatever's in the house. And now pretty much my non-negotiable for food in our house is we need to have eggs and we need to have meat for breakfast. Sometimes it's sandwich meat. It doesn't always have to be the perfect option, but it's like we always have stuff for me to make a breakfast of some sort of eggs and meat. And I found that just really geared me up for success. My diet is set up for success that way, where I can start my day with 20, 25, 30 grams of protein in the morning, and then just that I can build off that. And maybe that's not perfect, right? But if I'm shooting to get 150 grams of protein in a day, it's going to be very, very hard to have a successful day with my food if I start the day with cereal, right? So me, by simply just committing, I'm gonna have a good breakfast every single day. So I can proudly say, I don't actually know, because I don't track that consistently or track that accurately, but I would say 300 to 330 days a year, definitely over 300 days a year, I'm having the same breakfast. Maybe a slight variation, but it's eggs, meat, and cheese, right? Sometimes I don't have the cheese, but there's 325 days a year, we'll say 330 days a year, eggs, meat, cheese. I don't think about it. I like it just fine, but I didn't even give myself the opportunity to consider if I like it or not. That was the commitment. I'm starting my day with protein. Sometimes I'll throw a piece of toast in. Sometimes there'll be other stuff. And that way it's like it fits my life. Every morning I can cook breakfast. It's quick. I don't think about it. I just do it. Kind of like setting my clothes out the night before. It's just done. It's automatic. Saturdays and Sundays with the kids, if the kids want pancakes and stuff, I'll have a pancake. I'll have some fruit, but I'll have my eggs and meat, right? So it's just something that I built in that has really helped me on that journey. And it's just a system. It's just a habit. It's really just a habit. It's got nothing to do with motivation or hype. It's just something that happens, right? So, and then again, just a reiteration that action creates momentum, and momentum creates motivation. So we're kind of going at it backwards. If you think you're going to be motivated, then get momentum, and then take action, you just got to flip it. Take the action, build momentum, and out of that, you will get motivated. Again, just like starting, even if it feels small, I would always encourage, again, referencing Mind Pump, because this just naturally feels like a fitness episode. But one thing that Mind Pump refers to a lot is, what's something small where you can just create that momentum. And if you're looking at tracking food, because I'm not a big food tracker, I don't think that's something that I want to lean into consistently. But theirs is like add fiber, right? That's just a real easy thing that you can add. It's systematic. You add fiber, all of a sudden you feel better, you're fuller longer, and they're like, I can do that. And then all of a sudden you add more protein, and all of a sudden your diet's checked in, so you start working out better, whatever it is. But really just those small steps, 10,000 steps a day, right? Something really small where you don't have to, you don't have a big barrier, because too often you hear people, well, even to use business for example, the expectation of somebody getting into real estate, if they think they're going to do 50 deals in their first year, I'll never say you can't, but the reality is that's a lot of work. A lot of things have to fall in place, and there's an element of, I don't necessarily want to say luck, but good fortune that comes with that. 50 deals a year is a lot of work. A lot of realtors just don't get there. And if you think you're going to do that in year one, that's going to be darn tough. But if you can say, okay, I'm going to do a deal a month in my first year. That's 12 deals a year, sustainable. You get into it, you can do the thing, you can track, and then the next year you can increase from there. But it's if you have that lofty goal, if you're set to do 50 deals in your first year in real estate, same as if you're if you're going to go from not working out to working out for an hour and a half, 6 days a week, it's just not sustainable, right? It's going to be so hard. I shouldn't say not sustainable, because somebody out there is going to do it. And props to you, because you're a better person than me, right? If I was going to go from 0 to 100, that's so tough. But you kind of need to ramp up, and just not necessarily always slowly, but at a starting point that fits, that you can actually do and grow that momentum, and then continue to get motivated. Because believe me, a small change, your body starts to change. Again, fitness wise, your body starts to change. And you will get more motivated. You see changes in the mirror, changes on the scale. All of a sudden, it's a hell of a lot easier to go do those workouts. And maybe half the workout is like you're admiring your calf muscles that you've always wanted, that you're now building, right? But that breeds motivation time after time. So again, and then after that, it's how do we stay consistent without motivation? It's really deciding what you've committed to and sticking to it. Be the person that sticks to what you commit to, and remove emotion. My breakfast, for instance, and I've noticed it lately. It's not great. Like I going through a little season of my life right now where I would love a little more. I would love some toast or, and honestly, the other day I let myself do it. I had mini wheats and yogurt, right? That was one day out of the next, 3 weeks that I'll do a different breakfast just to, if I can't do it, I can't do it. But still, I'm getting that the other 2 weeks or whatever it is, I'm taking emotion out of it and I don't even think about it, right? Another one would be use the 2-minute rule. Start with something so small that you just can't say no to. It's just like, just quick commitment. I'm just going to do this now. I'm going to go down. Instead of saying I'm going to go work out for an hour, I'm going to do 15 push-ups, right? How much motivation can you build from that momentum of doing those 15 push-ups? Take the emotion out of it, commit to the 15 push-ups, and then the awesome thing is you're going to do 15 and then you're going to rock out maybe another set of 5 or 10 because it just feels good. Number 3 would be set process goals, not just outcome goals. We see it all the time in business, see it all the time in fitness. In business would be sometimes we'll use realtors doing open houses, for instance. You can't control how many people are going to walk through the door of that open house. You can influence it by good advertising and a good open house and lots of notice and a nice property, all this kind of stuff, but you cannot control how many people walk through that door. You can't control who they are and how motivated they are to buy. But what you can control is do the action. If you set the process goal, I'm going to do 25 open houses in 2025. So if you set that goal, I'm going to do 25 open houses this year. If you're just getting reps in, eventually, if you do 25 open houses a year, I'm very confident that you would get some deals from it. The same way as if you just focus on the fact you're going to hit your workouts or hit your steps, I'm very confident you're going to find results. If you hit 10,000 steps 5 days a week for a whole year, your body's going to feel better. Like it's just a matter of time. Another one would be make it public. Number 4, make it public. Just that accountability. If you have a private accountability partner, sometimes that works too. But I mean, with this podcast or with fitness journeys, with business, anything like that, there's a reason people have, like we do an accountability group at work, because there's a lot of power and strength in surrounding yourself with the right people and leaning into them when things get tough. Even me, when I committed to the podcast, for instance, like everything else, because I'm human, it goes in waves. Some days I feel like it's the best thing ever. It's so fun. I love it. And other days I'm like, this sucks. What am I doing? This is stupid. All the negative self-talk kind of creeps in. But then, so what I did was I told a couple people, and it's not even people that I'm necessarily always close to. I think I mentioned in another video, I was doing job interviews. We're looking to add somebody to the group here, and I told one of them. And it was just, it was just like giving that commitment to somebody. I told my sister, she's like, yeah, do it. Yeah. So it's just sharing that with people. And now I've committed to other people and I'm not going to let them down. So telling other people, making it public. And number 5, maybe one of the most important things, gamify it, make it fun. Track your streaks, reward your progress, compete with friends, whatever that looks like, but really do something to make it fun. Again, leaning into fitness, it's not always fun, right? It's not supposed to be always fun. If it was always fun and easy, it's not going to get you what you want. So I know with Ashley, I'm going to kind of bring her up. I don't know if she cares or not, but she's going to get used to it with this thing. She's always kind of wanted to get into a bit of a fitness journey of her own. And me being kind of passionate about it, I've always wanted to support that. But one thing we did that was really cool was make a game out of it. And it started with my coach, and I've done it before with realtors in our office, where reward yourself. And so we did a thing, and it's like track not the progress, but the activity. So it's just workouts per week. If you hit for hers, and I'll just tell you, for her getting into it, if she has her workouts laid out, if she hits all 3 workouts in a week, She gets some sort of a specialty coffee. Could be an ice cap, could be a whatever, Tim Hortons, could be a Starbucks. She gets a specialty coffee that weekend. It's just a little reward. What's the meme? I should figure it. If I was good at graphics, I would have the "it's a reward" thing, but I'm not, so I won't. But yeah, and then at the end of every month, if she does every week, 3 days a week, she gets, I don't remember what it is, another little thing. And then if she does 3 months in a row, I think it's a $100 gift card to Lululemon, right? So these things built in, and it could be gift cards, it could be dinners out, it could be a weekend away with friends once a year. It doesn't matter. Just something. It's something that something that gives you that reward, that tangible that you can. I would love to know that it's something you can touch, you can see, you can feel, you can look for it. With the gift cards, with the coffee cards, with the Lululemon card, we got it pinned up in the basement, so she can go down there, she can see it. If she doesn't want to do a workout, she gets down there and it's fun. It's like she tracks it. It's good, right? So gamify it, make it fun. Do it with other people. Do it with friends. Me and Jeffrey in our office did it a few years ago where we had like a list. Every benchmark we hit, we had a little reward. I think one of his was Blundstones at one point. Like he wanted boots. So it was fun when he hit that mark, he got his boots. So it's fun. It makes it a lot easier to stay consistent and not just focus on that motivation. You can look at that tracking and say, I don't feel like making this call, but I want my boots, right? Up to you if you want something more exciting than boots. Yeah, and just it doesn't always have to be the all-inclusive vacation thing, but hey, probably the best shape I've been in my life before this point has been I booked a holiday. We booked a trip to Mexico, and it was a reward, and it was like I want to feel a certain way when I'm out at this resort, and so have those things, work them in. Enjoy it. So realistically, I guess I probably don't have to reiterate now, but realistically, keep in mind, motivation is a trap. It's unreliable, it's not consistent, and it's just a lie. Like motivation is a lie. You can't stay motivated all the time. But discipline, habits, consistency, that's where people separate themselves. That's where success actually happens. You talk to successful people and they're not where they are because they were super motivated one day and then changed the world. No, it's like successful people that have really achieved things, done the hard stuff and come out the other side is really, those are people that made a decision to stay consistent to the small activities, the stuff that's not pretty. One story stands out to me. I don't remember his name, but if you look at the best batting average ever in professional baseball, what is it? 0.335. So that's getting on base once every 3 times at bat. That's the best. But you look at just the consistency of some of that, right? It's not exciting. But then sometimes you're going to hit a home run. Great. But you can't always be swinging for a home run. Sometimes you got to be swinging for singles and getting on base. And that's truly where success lies. It's the consistency, the simple kind of the mundane tasks, but that's the stuff that people bypass, and that stuff is crucial for success. So this week, I want you to do something hard, even if you don't like it, something that you've committed to. Go to the gym, make a call, go for a walk if it's raining or whatever, but just something small. Commit to it and do it. I would love for you to share with me what you're up to. I'd love for you to I'll put the Instagram thing down here. I'll put the subscribe thing up here. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell. I would love to hear your stories. I would love to keep this going. And I'd love to know that you guys are out there just building those consistent actions. I would love to hear what they are and how they're impacting you. Because I know for me, I've seen a lot of impact in just those small, consistent actions. It's the eggs every morning. It's the 10,000 steps a day. It's not necessarily the bulks and the cuts. It's the super consistent things that you can really insert into your life. So appreciate it. That was kind of fast again. I don't know how long these episodes are supposed to be, but I appreciate you joining me. Really enjoy it. Be sure to share this. Be sure to engage with me, and we'll see you next time.